Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing? Welcome to Coco's Corner. Today is Monday, August the 23rd, 2021. How are you doing? How are you doing? It is a beautiful Monday. It's going to be a rather warm Monday. Let me say that. My amazing co-host is checking out the show from another part of the world. So she didn't tapped in, but she's just on the other side of the world. So we got all that. Good morning, Sam. How are you? So listen, we gonna jump right into all the stuff that is going on, cause baby, it is a lot of stuff that is going on. We got an amazing guest that's coming in and sit down and kick it with us. My girl Deidre D.S.Sense, who is always on her Detroit everything. And when she ain't on her Detroit everything, she's still on her Cooper Street everything, which is the same thing because Cooper Street is in Detroit. So a lot of stuff went on this weekend. We had the Woodward Dream Cruise. Everybody pulled out all their cars. They pulled them out. Y'all put on for the city. Y'all did an amazing thing. Drove down Woodward, waved, honked your horn. You know, it's amazing that certain things make us all able to get along. Things that and it's usually material things. Um I know that's just a sidebar, but material things tend to allow all pockets of the community to come together and celebrate and ooh, what year is that? It's so pretty. What color is that? Oh, it looks like a pack of double mint gum. Oh, that's beautiful. It's amazing how we can all come together driven by material things. I'm just saying. Um and we come together and we get along and we don't have any gafuffles snafus or any of those things that go on, and we get together, and then when it's all over, we drive back to our pocket of the world and continue with our day. We've enjoyed ourselves and waved and had dialogue with people that didn't look like us or worship like us or whatever, but we managed to come together and do the thing. Another thing that was popping this weekend, it kicked off Black Restaurant Week. So let me just say, in celebrating folks' birthdays, it would seem like it's a lot of folks' birthdays the end of August. From the middle to the end of August. Had the opportunity to check out Imaginate Restaurant in Royal Oak. And really, really, really a very nice restaurant. The food is amazing. Um, I had y'all like what you had. I had sticky rice and salmon and Caesar salad. And it was an interesting Caesar salad because they like put a char on the Caesar salad. I know y'all like what? But it's like a sort of a I don't want to say circus themes or maybe things that you would imagine or think about or whatever, but it's a very nice place. One of my girlfriends was celebrating her birthday and instead of getting the room, we got cabanas. Yeah. Nice vibe, nice energy. We got there early enough where we could stretch our legs out or whatever and kind of people watch the people that were coming in. So shout out to Imaginary Restaurant um in Royal Oak. Got a chance to watch the movie and go check out the movie. Respect. Now, some of you all may have watched the other Aretha Franklin movie that was on National Geographic a few months ago. And I'm sure you got something to say about that. And then I watched the one with Jennifer Hudson, Forrest Whitaker, um, Audra McDonald, um, Sean Wayans, I think it was Sean Wayans. Um, Good movie. Jennifer Hudson sang the house down. She captured some of the essence of Aretha Franklin, even in turn, because Aretha Franklin had kind of I don't want to say a lisp, but she had kind of eh. It was sort of a cross between and don't start tripping and sending me crazy messages when I say this. Aretha Franklin's voice had sort of it was a cross between Tina Turner and a auntie that was from the South but was a school teacher from the South. But Jennifer Hudson kind of captured that whole uh the armature of Aretha Franklin's mouth and all those things. And I guess y'all like what? Because I'm a music head and I pay attention to those things. It was a great movie. Wardrobes snatched and pulled. Forrest Whitaker. I'm like, yep. Yeah, he was. Phew. Yeah. The guy, what is his name? I think his last name is Hannibal. That played James Cleveland. Cleveland. Mary J. Blige was in the movie, of course, and the Wayans man. Now listen, once you shift your gears and take Sean or Marlon Wayans, Marlon Wayans. Thank you, Crystal. Once you take Marlon Wayans out of the pocket of being a comedian, I really about once he finally entered the scene and I saw the person he was playing, I wanted to beat his ass. Really, for real. Like, yes, Desmond the Wayans man. I really wanted to whoop his ass because he was if narcissism had a template or a character, he was it. I mean, he was like when you see the movie, um, for me, I've dated someone not as extreme as he played her first husband, Ted White. Um, not as extreme as him, but like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, he I say he is something else. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. He got a little spirit of Ike Turner on him. Can't keep his hands to himself. But it's a great movie. I suggest you get some of your friends or go see it yourself. We had the theater basically to ourselves. It was about 10 of us, and we went to see the movie. After we left the Imaginary, we went and checked out the movie. Um, great movie, which leads me to some of my next things I got to talk about. Because people, I love y'all, but don't let social media just really and I use social media and I post and share stuff and all that. Matter of fact, while you listening, I need y'all to like and share um Coco's Corner. I need y'all to like it and share it. Um how do I say this? Don't let social media just rob you of the essence of life. Um yeah, don't I'm definitely gonna talk about that. But don't let social media rob you of the essence of life before social media. I'm not saying you can never go back to the way things used to be. And sometimes familiarity, knowing the familiar and you so comfortable with the familiar will stagnate you. It's a saying that says familiarity breeds contempt. Knowing what is or what was sometimes puts you in a place where you just too comfortable and too relaxed. I think that you're supposed to always work towards and anticipate the next thing. I posted on social media, avoidance is the first cousin on the mama side of procrastination. Um, because the reason that we procrastinate is because we avoiding what we need to do. So we'll sit and sit and sit and sit, and then we'll procrastinate, and then in the last minute, in the final round, we want to run. It's like watching Jeopardy. It's always that person that win by the time they get to double Jeopardy, the person that won $15,000 and the person that won 5,000. And then now in double Jeopardy, they want to get the answer, get the answer, get the answer, get the answer. Sometimes it don't work like that. Speaking of Jeopardy, the guy who was picked as the host has now grand opening, grand closing. He has resigned from the position of host based on some things that came out that he said in an interview a few years ago. Yeah, listen, people. There are men and women. They say very misogynistic things about women. And when we start to delve we pull those things up. So he made some comments. Um, were they inappropriate at that time? They were directing the person that he was doing the podcast with. He was trying to get her to say about a bikini or whatever. And the mere fact that he was pushing the envelope and she was obviously not comfortable in disclosing or having that dialogue, but he kept pushing the envelope. I'm like, my man, hey, hey, hey. So he has resigned. Yeah. hmm In the midst of everything that's going on, don't let social media push you into a rabbit hole. As a comedian, I'm sure if people go back and pull up some stuff that I've said, y'all be like, you know what? I guess I ain't made enough money yet because it ain't important yet. It seems interesting that once people get to a certain point, they did it with Kevin Hart and they pull it up. They're like, hey, Sam said he had the personality of a Ritz cracker. Not even a Ritz, the dollar store Ritz called it It's. Um, I guess I ain't made enough money yet for y'all to go back and look at my old comedy stuff and pull. Even some of my new stuff I say is like, did she say that? Yes, I did. Next thing, and I'm gonna get to the final thing because we got to definitely talk about on social media. And like I said, it was disturbing times 10. A young lady posted on social media that she was going to make her nephew look like a baddie. Okay, if y'all don't know what a baddie is, that means an attractive woman or all of that. Her nephew looked like he might have been between 6 months and a year. Um, this woman and let me say this, had I walked in and this young lady was babysitting my nephew or any of the male children in my family and had done this to them, I would have slapped the shit out of this hoe. Y'all heard what I said. SHIDDDDDDDD hoe, HEAUX. I would listen. I would have drug her, and I'm honest. So let me get to what she did. Um, she took her nephew. He was sitting on the They were sitting on the couch. She put makeup on him. Um, Singing this song. She put blush on him, lipstick, eyeshadow. Mind you, did I say um he was between 6 months and a year? She put false eyelashes, the strips on, and she topped it off with a wig. Now, I don't know what her motivation was other than to, I don't know, get her numbers up on social media. I can't say that was her entire motivation. But when I looked at it last night, it had probably about 1 million views. I was on my man Earthquake page. So y'all could go to the real Earthquake and check it out. She put makeup on her nephew, and the caption was, "About to turn my nephew into a baddie." Um, it was so disturbing because you could have did that to yourself. Or I'm sure you have somebody or a man that's close to you that wouldn't have mind that. But first of all, let me look at it from this point. To put those chemicals and the glue and the hair, and baby skin is really sensitive, such irritants on that baby's face, you crazy as hell. And like I said, if I had walked in and saw you doing that to any of listen, they ain't even had to be. I could have been at the cookout with you and caught you from my seat, and I would have walked up to you and probably slapped you so hard your chin would have lifted from your jaw. Cause that's how I felt when I saw this. Like, why would you sit and put makeup and eyelashes and a wig on a child? Even if it was a girl child. Let me just go there. Even if it was a girl child, a toddler, an infant, I probably would have slapped you and lifted your jaw away from your cheek. And I know, I don't condone violence, but every now and then, based on what people do, I'ma just say this. Sometimes you gotta get your cage rattled. It may be physical, it may be emotional, every now and then we get comfortable in our madness because ain't nobody rattled our cage. I listen. Don't look at me with the big eyes like, oh my goodness, oh I don't believe that. Yeah, every now and then, because we get too comfortable in our ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I don't mean the ignorance that's the lack of knowledge. I mean ignorant in our behavior. We get really comfortable in it. And then when something traumatic happens, we're like, oh my goodness, you knew you were subject to failure when you started. Okay. Um, African World Festival went on this weekend also, down at the Charles H. Wright Museum and in the DIA and all of that. Listen here, I kind of stay near that area. Y'all had a wonderful, wonderful time this weekend. They had some stuff going on in that park and all of that stuff. Kudos to y'all that came out, especially the people that came out on Sunday. It's people that come out and say, I'm coming out on Sunday because a lot of the vendors ain't trying to take that stuff back and they cut their prices down. So shout out to y'all that enjoyed the African World Festival. Thank you to everybody that came to the comedy brunch yesterday at Javon's. It was a flashback for me because Javon's used to be Javon Purple Passion over on Greenfield between Joy Road and Chicago. Anyway, I'm pulling down the street. Let's get to this. Let's get to this damn crate challenge. Why? Why, y'all? Out of all the hood games to play, uh, police and criminal, house, uh, cartwheel on the urine soaked mattress that used to be in the backyard. Y'all decided, and there were people saying that they used to do it when they was young. I played a lot of hood games when I was young, but I ain't never played this. And maybe they didn't present it to me because it's like, nah, she a big girl. We ain't gonna make hurt her feelings. But y'all folks is out here climbing. Y'all done stacked the milk crates. So each milk crate is probably about 12 inches by 12 inches. Y'all stacking the milk crates like stairs. And people going up on the milk crate. And I'm mad for two reasons. I'm mad because I'm watching it. I need y'all to like and share Coco's Corner. It's Monday, August the 23rd, 2021. My guest today is coming in shortly. Deidre, D.S.Sense Smith on her Detroit Everything. But we talking about this crate challenge. Somebody stack these crates up. One single crate, two, three, four, so on. And it's like six at the apex of the thing, and then you start to descend. I did not anticipate seeing some of the shapes and dimensions and ages of these people that's trying to do the milk crate challenge. First of all, if it was the milk crates that we had back in the day, because we had plastic ones, we had the metal milk crates too. Y'all remember them when the Twin Pines man or whoever would deliver the milk? It's the metal milk crates. But y'all done took the damn milk crates, stacked them up. I've only seen two people that were successful. The other people was epic fail. And I'm talking about, I don't know if y'all, it ain't, we gonna do hood physics. The law of hood physics say anything at rest stays at rest. Anything in motion stays in motion. So if you're at the top of that hood mountain, milk crate mountain, and you start to fall, you gonna hit something on one of the milk crates. And here's the thing about your body. If you hit it, depending on what angle you hit it on, A, it's gonna hurt like the yeah, and B, you might break something. So the girl climbed it and she made it and made it down. She got a handful of money. I'm like, is it worth risking your life or your eyesight or something Decline the milk crate. We ain't got better stuff. Y'all need to take the milk crates and put trash in them and throw the trash away. And where the hell y'all get all over the country, including Guam and Puerto Rico, y'all are climbing the damn milk crates. It was a guy on there, that's what I said, Andre. Where they getting the milk crates? We need to start. All we gotta do is put some bedazzles on them and airbrush them. We could sell them, boys. Oh yeah, all you gotta do is paint them the color somebody in the neighborhood or a Detroit Lions color, something like that. And they be like, oh, them the special. And don't put no bling on them boys. Oh my goodness. They probably are stealing them from the liquor store like they stealing the pallets. People, be careful out here. Everything. Wow. Joy said they selling them on Facebook for $30. I don't want them. Now listen, I didn't sell on some milk crates. I didn't sit on 2 milk crates and balance myself with my legs. But you always conscious of is it if it's any kind of you jump up. Y'all done run out. Then there was one guy climbing up, and it was a younger guy that came up and did it was like a flying karate double up hi kick and kicked them milk crates from under. Hit them boys hard with like he was he did the drop kick like he had a battering ram in a badge. He hit them crates so hard, and that man's body went flailing to the ground like a lead balloon. And people was like, "Why you do that? Why you? Oh, that is so bold. Why you do that? Why are y'all doing that? You play dumb game, you get dumb prizes. Do I condone that? No. Now y'all on social media talk about if your dumb ass fall and die, I'm not donating nothing to GoFundMe. Pause. Some of y'all too old to be up there. Some of y'all won't even walk up some steps, but you walking up milk crates. Y'all doing too much. Milk crates used to be the thing that if you had a milk crate at your house, after you had washed it out, cleaned it out, you put your Barbie dolls in them. But you had to put like a towel or pillowcase in there because you didn't want your Barbie doll legs to fall through the holes of the milk crate. We doing so much. We doing so much. Good morning, all. Shout out to Ron Isley and Chaka Khan. That was at Shane Park this weekend, baby. Y'all put on for y'all city. Y'all had the outfits and everything on. I think I love my people. We are so dynamic and amazing. And when I say my people, I just don't mean black people. I mean people overall. We amazing. Listen, we are phenomenal people. And the sooner we start to embrace and recognize that we are phenomenal people, it'll move us forward. It will. Happy birthday to my man Big Herc and Dave from S Boy. They celebrating their birthday this weekend. Um, a special love shout out to my daughter's father, whose birthday would have been on Thursday, but he made his transition in May. Shout out to him. He would have been damn, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, okay. Um, it's just a lot of everything that's going on. I want to say this for real, and I really don't. I'm not putting a lot of my emotions into y'all responses, but people listen. They getting ready to shut the world back down for a whole bunch of reasons. Um, yeah. So it's almost like um it was the seat outside for your uncle to put the old couch cushion on. Um Okay, somebody say my volume is low. Thank you. Um, so it might be me. So we've made it through. We're here at August, and we've participated in a lot of summer events and activities and all that stuff like that. Um, okay, we participated in a lot of stuff and a lot of summer activities. The Detroit Jazz Festival, music festival that's normally held at the end of the beginning of September, will now be held virtually. They gradually closing the world back down, and y'all folks acting a fool. Y'all acting up. Um, necessarily, do I wear my mask outside? No. If I'm in the inside grocery store with a bunch of people, wherever I am with a bunch of people, yes, I got my mask on. Um, you folks that don't want to wear the mask and all of that and all of that and all of that, listen. Now this COVID, COVID, and maybe the Delta variant, I don't know. I don't know. It's affecting children now. Yeah. It is affecting younger people. Yeah. Before in 2020 when we first started having the conversation, let's go back to 2019 when people that we knew had really bad colds or whatever. Now it's affecting children. Now it's affecting families. Jesse Jackson and his wife have it. Now, I'm not gonna say you need to go out and get the vaccine. I'm not finna say that. Because even with the vaccine, you can still get COVID. The purpose of the vaccine is to diminish the virus wreaking havoc on your body. And anybody that was born in the 60s, 50s, or 40s, or whatever, we were vaccinated for polio, diphtheria, pertussis, measles, mumps, rubella, whatever, chickenpox. Did it stop us from getting it? No, but it stopped it from taking us out the game. I just want us to stop arguing with people. If you don't want to get a vaccine, that's fine. But quit trying to impose your reason for getting the vaccine on me. And if somebody has gotten a vaccine, the people that are vaxxers, I know we want people to vaccinate for a particular reason. But y'all out here scrapping with folks because they don't want to wear a mask. And then you want to tell a business how to run their business. Most businesses are privately owned. And if they say you can't come in here if you ain't got no mask on, take your monkey mouth ass somewhere else. You folks want to, oh, because it's a violation of my civil rights. I have rights. Listen to me. It's a whole bunch of things you cannot do. They done shut schools down a lot. Listen, Jamaica is shut down from August the 22nd, 2021 to August the 29th of 2021. If you don't live there and work there, they got to regroup. They shutting some of these states down because folks don't know how to act. We see that. We know. We know what's going on. Um, we just doing a lot. And I don't understand why we doing so much. Um, I don't understand some of the trends. Had on some stretch pants. Yeah. I like stretch pants. And I wear them different from everybody else. Yeah, Sam, our rights do supersede other people's rights, but it is if you go into an establishment and they say you gotta have this on, then if you're not willing to adhere to that particular rules and regulations, then whatever. For years we saw the sign that said no shoes, no shirts, no service. And we just saw because we always had on our shoes and shirts. But it was folks that pulled up and see the sign and turn around. I've been in certain places, and usually, it's places that apply other people. And people go, they be like, oh darn. They go back and they put on some flip flops and put on a t-shirt because they was just gonna run in the gas station and get some beer. Put on your shoes and your t-shirt. It's a lot. Y'all doing a lot. And leave people alone. and quit trying to get likes and follows. And we want that in terms of marketing. We want those things to market what we do. You Sam, you know, as people always want to not have no shoes on in certain parts of the country. Um, we sending our love and our prayers to everybody that's on the East Coast and in Middle Tennessee and other parts of the country that's affected by the weather, other parts of the world that's being definitely affected by the weather, flooding and all of those things. All of that. Um, it's something I want to say, but I'm gonna wait to Sam back next week before we talk about it because um, and I'm just gonna tease it real quick. Um, to a lot of women that feel like they can have as many kids as they want because it's their body. I get that. But once you produce those babies, you have to take care of them. You can't just have them and they fend for themselves. They have to be washed and clothed and bathed and monitored and supervised and all of those things. You 21 and you got 5 kids, five children, and soon as you get in the store, one of them that fell out, something that happened, you not supervising them, you on the phone. Get your ass off the phone, Delquina. Get off the phone. Keep up with your babies. I'm gonna save it for next week. You right, Des. I am. She called them mammies. Sam called them mammies. So we got the milk crate challenge. Stop. Uh, what were dream cruise? Y'all did that. Um, ladies, I know it's summer and we don't necessarily want to go out by ourselves, but y'all got these Builder Man kits that y'all putting together. And I could tell when you didn't put him together, when it's not something he done did himself, because they look put together. Um, and he walking like he don't know what to do. Like he's never worn dress clothes before. Ladies, don't wait till the week of the event and go shopping for uh um your man and then force him to have to walk in dress shoes and dress up and be a grown up and all that. Get it before. Get it a couple weeks before. And then he walking around at the concert, showing off. He's strutting like a banny rooster because you done dressed him up. Let him get his shine on. You tell him, sit your ass down. You knew when you bought him that powder blue and cream linen suit with the powder blue and cream linen shoes with the cream hat with the powder blue hat band on it and the watch that got all them diamonds in it, how he was gonna act. And he got a haircut and a beard trim and he OC'd, he over cologned. Oh, baby, you're not gonna be able to do nothing with him. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah, I did a lot of people watching this weekend. I also went down river to Wyandotte to a place called the Waterfront. It's off, I think it's off of Biddle and Wyandotte. Nice restaurant. It's actually on the water. People pull their boats up and all that stuff. Really nice restaurant. And then I went to a place called Smugglers next door. It looked like a big, huge airplane hangar or something. Some of the birthday folks want to go over and dance. So they dance and I sat at the table and people watch. Baby, listen. I didn't party with a lot of folks, but my diminished melanated people, baby, they party. They had a band playing stuff like oh, here she comes. Oh, watch out. They was playing that. And then the DJ kicked in. And I was just sitting there looking. They was partying really, really hard. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody that experienced some form of loss over the weekend. Um, one of my friends lost her husband, and it was just a lot of going on this weekend. Um, And with that being said, I'm just want to send love and prayers to everybody that lost somebody over the weekend, or somebody that may be going through something. You know, you going through something, you in a different place. What? Wait a minute. Somebody said what? I learned how to shoot a Glock 19. Oh, okay. I need to. Okay, they having pistol chat on the thing. Listen, don't nobody pistol chat. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. And it disturbed me when I saw it. It really bothered me. To the family of the grandmother who was on her porch watering her flowers, minding her business, early morning watering her flowers. And this guy came out the driveway like he was on the side of the house. He was like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. And she was able to run into her house to safety and shut the entry door. She couldn't shut it and lock it. She couldn't get to the storm door. She ran through that and she got to the entry door and locked it. Sir, if y'all know him, his face was clearly, um, Sam, don't do that. Uh, um, if y'all know that gentleman, his face was clearly identified on the website and on the camera. He didn't have on no shirt. He was all sweaty and slick, looking like a fish. It looked like he might have had a blunt, but everybody don't put the same thing in their blunt. Some people smoke regular reefer, and some people smoke everything up. Um, yeah, DDT, it was serious because I'm like, and it's kind of interesting when I saw that because I had just ordered me a new welcome mat, and I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go outside with my little bucket of water, and swish, swish, swish with the broom that space down where because I took the old welcome mat up and I was gonna go clean it up and wet it down and do all that stuff. And I was gonna do it early in the morning. I was gonna get up early one morning because I'm always up early in the morning. I was gonna get up and that was gonna be my thing. I said, wow, I gotta go outside with a bow and arrow to work on the front of my house. So yeah, it was definitely disturbing. Thank God that woman made it in the house. If y'all see the video, yeah, y'all just keep an eye on our seasoned saints, and shoot, I'm one of them. I'm up in age myself. And just keep an eye out for each other. Just watch, folks. Sam said they need to be found and beat their feet. Just keep an eye out for other people, and people pay attention. Yes. So listen, without any further ado, we have our amazing, amazing, amazing guest in the studio. So I'm gonna let her get situated and settled in. Um, um, she is like, how do I describe her? She's always like a ray of sunshine, but she real serious because she's a spoken word artist. I don't want to say poet, but she is a wordsmith. I like that word. She's a wordsmith. Um, Always in the community doing what she does, repping her city, repping her neighborhood, representing the folks. As she put it, she is on her Detroit everything. Ladies and gentlemen, my sister friend Deidre D.S.Sense is in the building. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you came. So listen. Let's talk. You're a wordsmith, a poet, an artist, a creative, all of that amazing stuff. Who is Deidre Smith from Cooper Street? Who is she?
Oh my goodness. Pretty much the same. I was always a goofball, but somewhat serious. I knew I'm probably just as goofy as they come, but
I don't know.
there was a
I don't know. I might be a little. We might goofy for Trump,
Right.
goofy. We might be that right there.
Yeah, but Deidre Smith from Cooper Street was somebody who was raised in the arts.
Okay.
Agriculture was big. We had the grandmother who had the garden in the back.
Of course.
We had the Forge Community Center. and we had a neighborhood that played those crazy games. We didn't play the crate game either.
Oh no.
They just played it over there on Cooper Street yesterday, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, they just played it. I wasn't over there for that.
I think you would have whooped them though, had you been over there.
Baby, my equilibrium ain't as good as it used to
You
be.
weren't gonna try to do the hold on. You weren't gonna try to do the crate.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. I barely walk straight. Y'all see how I'm pitching to? I turn in a circle before I even walk straight.
Stop.
But yeah, so Deidre from Cooper Street is the artist that was always striving to make an impact, and there were a lot of people that had a hope in me. I'm still just this hood, a little street, little street that's under the surface.
No, but so but here's the thing: in order for people to go out, in order for you to go out, and some of the places you pop up, like you'll pop up at a pop-up shop, and then you somewhere else. You have to be familiar, comfortable with yourself, and then comfortable being in a community and interacting with people. Because everybody you interact with don't look like you.
Absolutely.
So for you to say, hey, I'm Deidre D.S.Sense Smith, and I'm over here on such and such on my Detroit everything, you have to be a grounded person to do that. You pop up everywhere.
Because you can't just run up on people like I do.
No, you
But I have a faith that I believe I'm protected, and then I come up and I got this big goofy grin, so they're like, okay, what is this about? And then I ask, well, may I film you? I like what you're doing out here on these streets, but along with my artistry, it coincides with my community work.
Okay.
Right now, I'm at LGBT Detroit as a community and crisis intervention advocate.
Wow.
And so I'm all about just unification of communities, of people. I'm still the same art and community where they meet. And so with that, I feel like you should be able to approach stakeholders and community members any day and every day. And I believe that because as a service provider, we can't be fearful of the demographic we're serving. And so often...
Wait, hold on. We got pause that right there. Go ahead. You said we cannot be afraid of the people that...
You cannot be afraid of the people you're supposed to be serving. Wow. Because if you are, how then can you go into those communities and take a fair consensus of what needs to be done, or what's lacking, or where the strengths are? And so many people that are in service to communities are so out of touch because they're in ivory towers. They're scared to get out there and shake a hand or give a hug, share a laugh, whatever it's going to be. So on my day-to-day walks, if I'm literally shopping and I see somebody doing something that's of service, I got to highlight that.
Right.
One, to shift the narrative of who we are.
Of course.
There's always this myth of we don't care about each other. We don't get out here. We don't.
And that's
a lie. There's this myth about Detroit. We know it. We've been here forever.
Yes.
Doing the very best that we can.
Yes.
And there's this thing about Detroit being so rough and so cold. But it's something special about Detroit where you can still walk up the street as hard as we can be in our resting faces.
Yeah.
And as soon as you flash a smile, you get one flashback at you.
Yes.
And it's good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe. Now you be safe too.
Yes.
You can still get that.
Yeah.
That's the magic of Detroit. And so I try to capture that in everything that I do and everything that I am. So when I go around this world, y'all gonna see me Earl Flinny. You're gonna see that little swag about me, okay? You're gonna see that at the heart of me because there's something beautiful about that. And so long the world has thought otherwise.
Yes.
And we're the epicenter of excellence. I will never not believe that. Everything that we see happening around the world, we're trendsetters. And for a very long time, I thought, and I think some of my artist friends can relate to this, I thought our communities were being kept from a lot of things in the rest of the world, right? I thought we were being kept from awards and recognition and notoriety, but we were actually being preserved from what the rest of the world is. And we were able to cultivate in that preservation our own styles.
Okay.
and have something that's just as effective. Like you see Motown.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see the big three industry. You see that
yeah,
everybody did that
yeah,
like us.
yeah. And it's so funny when you say that because every time you represent Cooper Street, so tell people where Cooper Street is, and no, because see,
Yeah.
I can relate because I'm passionate about Highland Park.
That's right.
And people
That's
be
right.
like, you always talking about Highland Park. I said, let me explain something to you. Highland Park made me who I am. I spend time in other pockets of the community. That's why when you said Cooper Street, I knew
Mhm.
exactly. I know where Cooper Street is.
Mhm.
I listen. I know some folks from over in that area in Cooper
That's
Street.
right.
So tell people where Cooper Street start and where it end and where it's located.
Mhm. Cooper Street is on the east side of Detroit. You got 94 in Gratiot 94 you take. And you can take it all the way down to as far as I want to say
Is it Forest?
Mac. I want to say Mac. It might be Forest. It might
Okay.
be Forest because you hit that one way on Forest. It
Cause it
might
get
be,
all
but
tangled
it
up
does
down
get
there.
tangled
Yep,
up.
yep, yep.
So yeah, maybe Forest, maybe
Okay.
Forest, but um, we're right in those areas where we have those major intersections. You got Warren Connor further back, Gratiot and 94. You got Harper and Van Dyke, all those things. And so we're right in the epicenter of everything, not far from any freeway. Um, the transit is great there because we're in the epicenter. Um, I've since moved to the west side, and I'm an east side girl, so it kind of breaks my heart.
You
But I had the opportunity for home ownership, so I jumped on that.
oh yeah, you had to.
Absolutely, absolutely, it was a sound investment. But Cooper Street is where my heart is. That's where the most wisdom was bestowed onto me. It's where the most heartbreak and those things that kind of torture you but give you inspiration at the same
Yes.
time. All those
Yes.
things, just a culmination of everything that I am is on Cooper Street. Still got the family house over there.
You still got the family house over there?
Yep, my sister's holding that down. My middle sister.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
see, that's part of the legacy. And I think people don't understand that because it has so much richness and history. I'm sending some directions to people
Yeah.
and when you tell people directions, they don't listen. When they be like, I got it." No, you don't, because my phone number been the same number 21 years, and you had to go through 3 people to get my phone number, but you say you got it. Okay, so I think part of the legacy is because as from 94 in Gratiot
Mm-hmm.
over, so that's south,
Mm-hmm.
is so much history on that block.
Mm-hmm.
Cause if you coming down, what is that? Warren. Is
Mm-hmm.
it Warren or Forest?
Yeah, you coming down Warren.
If you
If you're
coming
getting closer to me, you coming down Warren.
if you coming down and you get to Cooper Street, right? It's right off of sort of 1 block over from Van Dyke.
Mm-hmm.
It's a store between Gratiot and Cooper Street. They be barbecuing in front of that store. By the fire station. It's a fire station too over there. Ain't the fire station?
That's further back toward like Shoemaker. I
Okay.
think. Yeah, that's
That
further back.
okay,
Yep.
right. It's so much history, and you see those big, pristine homes that you could look at them, and those generations of families grew up in those homes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see them, I could just almost see a grandmama on the porch snapping peas.
Mm-hmm.
She done went to the Eastern Market. She got the peas in her lap on with her apron, and she's snapping peas. I see it sitting on the porch. She's snapping
Mm-hmm.
peas, and somebody hit the corner and they music up. As soon as they see her sitting on the porch, they cut their music all the way
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of history that we're missing now from the neighborhood and from the community. We missing those elders, those people that represented um just what we were and the culture of us existing and all of those things. Or if you started at the end of the block and you was walking down the street, by the time you say, okay, I'm gonna go to the store. And you walk into the store, but you didn't pass 3 people's house. Where you going? I'm going to the store. What store you going to?
Uh-huh.
Listen. Oh, wait a minute. Come here for a minute. So now she gotta go in the house,
Right.
get her change purse, write a note. So now you get to the store, you was going to just get a pack of annihilators. Now you got 4 notes, balled up all in your pocket with little pieces of paper on them and get to the man at the store. And now you got, this was before the
Yeah,
plastic bags, you
that's
got the
right.
paper bags
That's
with the
right.
stuff in them. Because somebody wanted a Pepsi and a pack of Newports, and somebody wanted a Coca-Cola and a pickle. So now you delivering the stuff back down the street.
That's right.
But those were the things that gave us character.
Yeah.
Those were the things that if you had a baby and you came home with the baby, once you went in the house, you didn't come out the house for 6 weeks.
Mm.
Miss Jenkins, come and let me see. Let me bless that baby. Bring that baby over here. Oh, the baby got a little tooty head. You gonna have to shape this baby head. I'm gonna be down there directly. And she would come down there and look at the baby. Even though the mama and it was a mama and grandma in your house, but she would come down and look at the baby and smell the baby and rub the baby feet. It was like a rites of passage. It was the ancestral rites of passage. We miss so much of that in the community. So when you out on your Detroit everything, I see how people welcome you. They, sometimes you catch them and they looking like,
What is this gonna be about?
yeah.
What kind of light is this gonna show me?
They be like, wait a minute, what this young lady doing? What is she doing? I mean, her smile pleasant and she look harmless, but what's going on? And they looking at you, and then by the time it's finished, and you say, hey, this is Deidre D.S.Sense Smith. I'm on my Detroit everything.
Yeah.
I'm at the such and such place, the sandwich shop, to this, to this, to this. They whole dragged and changed. Now they smiling. They
That's
like
right.
this.
That's right.
They only understand maybe 5 of the words you said, but they like this with the thumbs up.
That's right.
But we have to do that.
You do. I think it goes back to what you said with that character building, right? One thing I was telling a coworker of mine that I value in regards to my executive director at the job. I like when when you trust me with something. Those matriarchs and patriarchs of the community gave you money that was a bit excessive for what they were asking for.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see if you're going to bring that change back.
Absolutely.
And we had so much pride in knowing you trust me with this bill.
Yes.
It only costs 50 cents, but
she done gave
then
you
you
a
come
$10
back, yes.
bill. Oh, my goodness.
And then you come back with their change. And the reward in your integrity is, now you keep that.
Yes.
That's skill building. Okay? So I had that growing up. One of my closest friends, she just passed. She was approaching 80, if not yet.
Wow.
So I sat with those matriarchs and patriarchs, and I absorbed those stories. I love that. They were documentarians. They were historians.
Yes.
They would talk about Eastern Market before it was what we knew today.
Yes.
They would talk about Hastings. They would talk about Black Bottom, all those things.
Yes.
And I thought they were royalty. You know,
I
wanted they swag. I was like,
you
if I could take
them
that,
dusters?
oh, baby. I almost started to wear it this morning.
And listen, them Daniel Green house shoes. See, people don't know about them Daniel. Women that had Daniel Green house shoes, them house shoes was expensive then, but they didn't wear them every day. They wore them on Easter, Christmas. If they had to go in the hospital, you took them their good bag with the Daniel Green house shoes in them.
Yeah.
Lord, please don't put your feet in them Daniel Green house shoes.
Don't you do it.
They still make Daniel Green house shoes.
You know, them was the
Louboutins for that generation.
Yeah. Them was the Winkleman girls, honey. You don't mess with they was fly.
With them Berkshire stockings. Them slippery stockings.
They could dress. You know, I think I'm probably the only one out my mom was fancy like that too, like my grandmother.
Okay.
I'm probably the only one out my family that's not like a fashionista. I have 2 older sisters. But you think of those women and those men with such class. They were poised. They were elegant. They were blue collar. They were educated. They were white collar. And I think that's what we miss in our communities, that culmination that of everyday people in different levels and stages of life. And you can go from next door to across the street and learn something that you didn't know yesterday.
Of course.
And next door and across the street can come to your house and learn something. And we had fruit trees, which was big.
Yes.
Now, by the time I came around, I'm an 83 baby.
Okay.
Coming up in the 90s. By the time I came around, we could still pick certain trees, the cherry trees.
Yeah.
Down the street, we can pick from The peach trees, not so much.
And the apples.
And the apples, we can get a few of those. But those fruit trees also help cement that sense of community. Because if I can come down and ask you for some of your cherries in exchange for what I might have, maybe I have cucumbers from my granddaddy's garden, but it made you interact.
Yeah.
It forced you to come out the house and get what you wouldn't get from the grocery store. Now we have supermarkets. I don't need you for nothing.
Yeah.
I don't got to talk to you. But when we had a sense of community, we also had agriculture. We had trade. We had those things. Yeah.
We had a lot of bartering going on.
Absolutely.
I remember growing up, and I'm a definitely 60 baby. I'm definitely old enough to be your mother. Yes, but my mother and her friends on the block would go shopping, and fryers would be 29 cents a pound, so you can only get two. So we at A&P, and I got two bloody chickens in my hand, and my mother got two. But when we got home, my mother tell me, take them two chickens across the street to Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara lived across the street, and she had 6 children. And take them over there, and Miss Barbara, I said, my mama told me to bring you these chickens. So I give her the 2 chickens, and she be like, hold on. And I'm standing at the door, and then here comes Miss Barbara with this big, huge bag of rice.
Yep.
And I take the rice across the street, and it was that thing. It was the thing. I remember Miss Barbara she worked at the plant. Really, really attractive woman. And she would tell my mother, okay, I got to work afternoons this week. So when the kids get home, just keep an eye on them. And that's what my mother did. You know, my mother peeped out the window, and it was 6 of them, and they were, it was a couple on my age, a couple younger, and a couple older. But that's what we did on the block. You know, if the kids was old enough to be in the house, but you did that on the block.
That's right.
And you would learn something. And I tell people all the time, yes, we had people that had drug issues. We had people that had alcohol issues or whatever, but we never slighted those people. If we went to the store and a person had an issue or whatever, I don't remember necessarily like slighting them or being disrespectful to them because we knew they had an issue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still something.
We knew they were human.
Yes.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And I think this is another thing, especially around the time I was coming up.
Sam say the bag of rice would be the size of a pillowcase. It would, Sam. Sam is my co-host, and she usually here. She out and about in Paris or France or Inkster or somewhere. So she watching us via satellite. But the bag of rice would be huge.
Yeah, it would be. So with that same recognition of humanity that gives you the bag of rice, that makes you acknowledge the person that has a substance abuse problem, and you still hold the door for them. That humanity,
absolutely,
that's established in those hoods because we have a blend. I can remember stepping out the house and seeing crack valves sometimes. And I remember we had the brown dumpsters. You had to go to the back of the house and throw your trash.
Yeah.
And you see all those things, the drug paraphernalia and stuff. But then you can also step out to the front of the house and see the base of the trees painted white, symbolizing the block club. So we had that balance of knowing, there are some perils in the world.
Yeah.
There will always be there. But there's also good.
Yeah.
So what do you choose to focus on? The back of the house, the alley? Or the front of the house?
The front of the house.
Where the swim mobile is. Where the block party is.
Man.
What do you choose to focus on? What are you going to highlight? So we had that. We saw the humanity in everything.
Yeah.
We knew everything had its polar opposite.
We were taught to see that, though. We were taught it was so many things that as I get older now, I have conversations with my grandson. My grandson is 20. As I have conversations with him, he'll laugh, but then he'll come back. Like I'll say something, and him and my great nephews will come back later on. They be like, so what did the lady down the street do? And I would imitate her, and they laugh, and then they come back and be like, so was she a prostitute, auntie? And my grandson be like, so I said she was a lady of the evening. They was like, what does that mean?
Mhm.
And I reference a movie. They be like, we don't understand. So I would explain it to her. They was like, oh, so I said, listen,
Mhm.
she did what she did. Um, she had money. She did whatever she had to do to maintain.
That's right.
And and that's who she was. We didn't slight her because that's what she
That's
did,
right.
because she still her kids were clean, going to school every day. And whatever she did, she would do it when her kids were at school.
That's right.
Um, and she maintained,
Mhm.
you know, and that's what it was. The
Mhm.
body was, we looked at the human body different back then. I was watching Watch Stacks
Okay
a
now.
couple weeks ago. I love, listen, Watch Stacks is
Okay.
my
Hey,
joke.
don't the lead sing off the barcade. Don't he look like Cisco Daddy? Like Cisco took his
With
whole
that
style.
white, if y'all ain't doing nothing, and if you doing something, get some of your friends and family members and on demand watch Stacks.
Mhm.
You got the man Isaac from Love Boat is in it, Jesse Jackson,
Richard
Rance
Pryor.
Allen, Richard Pryor, the Barcades, the Staple Singers,
Mhm.
Isaac Hayes. And it's a big culmination leading up to a huge concert in Watts, California
Mhm.
at a stadium. Now, mind you, it had to be what, 40, 50,000 people at the concert?
Mhm.
But how they talked about hair and the white man and relationships and dating, and it ended in an amazing concert with Rufus with the pink hot pants
Okay.
on and
Getting that funky chicken.
yeah.
Okay. It's still a couple of routines on there, a couple of brothers.
Oh, with the
With the pop locker?
listen, it taught me that while Watts, California was thousands of miles away from where I was and where you were, it still was the same conversations.
Mhm.
The same braids with the cowrie shells on them,
Mhm.
the same relationship issues, the same all of that stuff.
Mhm.
So we was black, and people. How they looked at the body was always different to me because the sisters had the halters on and the hot pants, but the men weren't disrespectful. They didn't over sexualize the woman like, oh,
Hell, they had on the hot pants and halters too.
they did. Wait a minute.
The brothers' pants was tighter than the
They
ladies back then.
did.
They was fine,
They
but
did.
they thighs was bulging right out
They
them slave. They was
did.
pressing the crease off their pants. Them
Wait,
pants so tight.
you just took me so fast. Because Rufus did have on,
Mhm.
and we ain't talking about the Rufus, which we talking about the man name, his name was Rufus. He
Mhm.
did have hot pink shorts
He
on.
had the pink shorts on with the cape. But then you
Yes.
had like the Barcades and
With the
Isaac. They
white
had like
wigs.
they had like
Yes.
the tight. If they had on shirts, it was kind of look like chain links, halter tops and stuff, baby. Baby.
Oh,
Okay. It was
oh.
almost like the clothing was unisex almost.
Think about it, and so were the wigs
Mm-hmm.
and the glasses,
Mm-hmm.
and they had mascara on their eyes. Some of the men did have
Mm-hmm.
mascara on their eyes. So it was unisex because the men had the white wet look boots on up to their knee.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never like, oh, he this, oh, she this, or
Mhm.
whatever. You just dressed. You went, you
Mhm.
dressed, you went out, you did your thing. Yeah, he did have a cape on.
He had the cape on. And he said, "Ain't I'm clean?" When he stepped out there. And when he hit that funky chicken, baby, they started rushing that stage and he had to stop it
Oh my God.
and told them to back up. But it was the energy. That's what I love about art. He was that whole concert galvanized the community that was on fire.
Yes.
Okay.
We did that. It's always been a place or something to do if that was something that you wanted to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I see the creatives in everybody turning back to that.
Yeah.
The pop-up shops.
Yeah.
The we gonna be in this particular space on this particular day, and we gonna have singers and we doing poetry and we gonna have comedy. Somebody
Mhm.
got a barbecue grill, somebody got vegan food or whatever.
That's right.
But that's what we did back in the day.
That's right.
When Belle Isle had barbecue grills out there.
Mhm.
Belle Isle had real live barbecue grills. Now you had to get some water and clean the
And
seagull
everybody
poop
been
off
leaning
of
to the side a little bit.
Yes, and it was kind of from the wear and tear of that Michigan winter. They was kind of like this, you know. And I remember people that dug. First time I saw this, I was at Belle Isle. They dug a hole, put charcoal in it, and had an old refrigerator shelf, and they made a barbecue grill. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. They dug a hole, put the charcoal in it, lit it, and took the refrigerator grate and put over it to grill their meat. We had that, and that's what we saw, and that gave us character. So let's get to the spoken word part of Deidre D.S.Sense Smith. How did she come to be? How did she like, okay, the poetry. First poem you wrote. Let's talk about the first poem you wrote.
It was
How old were
Ebony
you?
Complexion. I think I was 15.
Wow.
Right? And I was originally a vocalist. I thought I was gonna grow up and sing, and
So you sing
came
too?
on the scene. I came on the scene in Detroit. Around the time I met you, damn, it's about like 18 years ago now. A little before we were at the Fisher Building, you was hosting that event. I was actually on the scene in Detroit as a vocalist. Wow. Award nominated and everything. It was around the time Neo Soul was really kicking off, right?
Oh my gosh.
And I felt as though I was going to be pigeonholed into that. I was hot at the time, but behind the scenes, I was an MC's MC.
Okay.
Right? And I was also a spoken word artist. I believe that I had more power in spoken word and hip hop than I did in my songstress mode.
Really?
Yeah, the singer was so vulnerable. I didn't feel like I executed it well. I would come out even before my hip hop sets and sing a little Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, who was my favorite. And I would open up with that to kind of warm my crowd up because it was always intergenerational, multicultural.
Right.
And before I laid this bit of cussing down on them, I was going to give them a little jazz.
Wait a minute. Okay. You said a little bit of cussing?
A little bit of cussing on them. I was going to hit them with the jazz first so it could land softer. But then eventually the interludes and preambles of the singing just dropped off altogether. And I became more of a spoken word and MC for the rest of the world to see.
Okay.
And I found more power in that. I didn't feel as vulnerable and exposed in that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So now I just sing it like I'll sing around the house for, sing a few hymns for God. But and I've had some people say, why don't you sing again? I don't have the pipes that I had either.
Well, I mean, but okay, so it don't take much if it's really there.
Yeah.
So for you, I believe it was really there.
Yes.
And minus, so I'm gonna interweave my story.
Yeah.
Cause singing was my first jump too.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, it's funny that you said you felt vulnerable singing,
Mm-hmm.
and now you feel more confident doing the spoken word.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was the other way around. I felt more confident singing than I do doing stand up.
Oh wow!
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
Oh wow! I understand it, but help me. Help me.
Okay. So
help me.
So singing is like when you sing and you got a band behind you, you can say, hey, y'all give it up for my keyboard player, Stanley Jenkins. Give him some, Stanley. I'm a scat with you. Yeah. And you always can deflect to them.
Yeah.
You can pass it off. Singers are the only people, think about this, as a spoken word artist, you independent on stage by yourself. As a comedian, I'm independent on the stage by myself. Mary J. Blige, Patti LaBelle can go on stage anywhere in the world. Mary J. can go on stage. Hey, how y'all doing? I've been traveling all over the world, and the weather's changing or whatever. I'm a little hoarse tonight, so are you all gonna help me? Yeah, Mary, we got you. No more drama. I've seen it.
That's right.
And Mary or whoever could sing. They may not be, and they may really be hoarse. and people gonna walk out the Fox or wherever they at, and they sweaty because they then transferred from in the audience to singing backstage. They done went up there, let's get beep 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 beep.
Okay.
They done sung every song with Mary J. Mary J. Oh, Detroit, I love you so much. You all are so amazing. You one of my favorite cities. Instead of giving me applause, give yourself some applause. People walk out that concert and go to Starters, Cutters, or whatever. Girl, I'm tired, girl. We was at the Mary J. concert. She wasn't feeling good, but I had a great time. Listen, Deidre, D.S.
Mm.
Smith can't walk on stage and say, hey, y'all, I'm going to do my poem, Nightingale, and I need y'all to help me.
Oh, no,
we don't even
baby.
know that poem.
Okay. Okay.
I can't go on stage as a comedian like, yeah, you better be funny.
That's right.
We don't get the option. We don't get to be sick. We don't get to have cramps. We don't get to not feel good. We don't get to grieve. We don't get to mourn. When you are a spoken word or a comedian, you don't get no options.
And you know, I told my auntie that one time. I wasn't feeling good. And she said, well, why don't you just lay down? I said, I got a show. And I said, it's like ministry, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might not feel your best, but you feel good enough to go make sure somebody can feel their best, right?
Yep.
I said, I told her, I remember this like it was yesterday, maybe 04. I said, somebody out there has told God that they're looking for something exciting enough to live for.
Mm.
And if I'm lucky enough, I can provide that tonight with the show.
Mm.
So I always put it on my shoulders.
Yeah.
To be the best that I could be on that stage because somebody had made up their mind that night. This is how I made myself perform, and maybe it's not so. But I put the pressure of somebody was depending on me to show up.
Absolutely.
Tonight so they can show up tomorrow for whatever they had to do.
I like
and
that.
so it made me get my tail up.
Right.
However I thought I was feeling.
Yeah.
And as soon as I remembered that commitment, as imaginative as it was,
but it's
it
truth
made
in that.
me, it made me get up.
But it is so much truth when you say that. It makes me think about it's a lot of truth in that because no matter where you may be in your head, as an artist, somebody's like, I got to get here. My girl Deidre D.S. Smith gonna be here, and I hope she does the poem, blah blah blah.
That's right.
Or if you do it, you may do a 60-minute set.
That's right.
And you be like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go off stage. You didn't do my poem. And I don't know why I keep saying like, you didn't do my poem so-and-so.
Yeah.
And you be like, and somebody be like, yeah, because they know it. Yeah, okay, do that poem. And now you're like, okay, do I have enough time? And of course the person will be like, yeah, go ahead. And you do it. And after the show, they come up to you like, oh, I love that poem. The audience puts you where they want you to be. So they take what you give them and they put it wherever they need to fill that gap. And it's kind of, it's a lot, but it ain't, but it is. Because they're like, okay, you're going to be here. So they looking for you to show up so they could have, because they need what you giving them.
Yeah.
It's not just the entertainment part.
Yeah.
It's well beyond that. Once you get outside of the entertainment and you really living in your passion, it's beyond the entertainment. It's like, it's getting hot in here, fellas. You got to get them something. And people come to see you perform to get something.
And you know that better than anybody as a comedian. What we say, you better make me laugh.
Oh, yeah. And
You
they be
better make me
serious.
laugh. Oh, my goodness.
They be looking like
they're going to cut you if you don't. It's because there's what we're giving out spiritually, and I hate to get
no, you go ahead.
ethereal on y'all.
Yeah, no, you listen.
And
This is a place for that.
I don't want to proselytize for y'all, but
you
I'll
said
get
proselytize?
there. I'll get
go
there.
on, proselytize.
When I come to do, even before this, like I fast before I do something, before I hit this mic.
Okay.
Even for this.
Wow.
Even before I record. If somebody says, come do a verse for me, I'm a fast. And I'm a big girl. I like my food.
Okay.
But I'm a fast before to show you how serious it is, my intention and the spirit that I want to place on this body of work.
That's deep.
So when we hit these stages, people can really feel when we're at our best and we're giving our best to them. They know
Oh,
when
yeah.
they know when we're actually giving them love. You know, the applause are more robust.
Mm-hmm.
The call and response is more
Yes.
interactive.
Yes.
All of these things play into the very spirit that you're bringing into that atmosphere. And if for some reason you haven't moved somebody that night, for some reason you haven't gotten a hug or a handshake or whatever they want to give you, go home and reevaluate what you carried into that space, because we are conveyors of energy. We are carrying our essence into a space.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we walk, if somebody isn't lighting up, if somebody isn't leaning forward in anticipation for what you're about to do, reevaluate some things.
Yeah.
Because as artists, entertainers, whatever you want to call yourself, when you hit that stage or the center of the room and you become the center of everyone's attention,
You preaching now.
you better have something
Mm.
captivating to say and do once that focus is on you. And with that,
Wow.
expect to get those hugs, expect to have those be willing to have those conversations over to the side and hear when somebody says, you know, I felt real bad until I came out today. I start not to come. Ain't that their favorite thing? I start not to come because I got this and this going on. And then before you know it, you off to the side praying with somebody.
Yeah. Oh,
Before
my
you know,
gosh.
you off to the side. Well, let me walk you to your car. Make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
Because they done told you they feel something.
Yes.
I don't know much. You know, all these
It's-
things, people don't understand what goes
Yes.
on behind the scenes.
Yes.
It's not glitz and glamour. It's almost like a ministry.
But it becomes, so when you're driven by your passion and you operating in your gift, it is a ministry, because you taking everything that you have and you transferring all of that energy to them. Like, so you have to be full and empty at the same time. You have to be empty enough to take what they giving you and full enough to give them everything that you got. Because when you look out in the audience, it's the people that know you. So they may not be as pulled in immediately as the newbies. So you got people that know, they be like, oh, okay, so she gonna do, blah, blah, blah. But then when you do something different, because you never do the same, you do.
Yeah, I'm always do it different.
Yeah,
I'm always try to do it different.
So it's a different level of passion. And then the people that think they know you, they be like, oh, well, she did so-and-so. So now they put in. Because for me, it's like, how dare you disrespect me? Yeah, I may be doing the same joke, but it's a little something I'm going to throw in there to throw you off. And then you got other people that's just looking, and you could tell they're not listening to what you're saying. They're like, oh, okay, her hair cute. I'm thinking about wearing an afro. So they sort of doing like this. Oh, okay, she got pretty skin. Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 or 3 minutes in, because of your content, they no longer dissecting you. They listening to what you're saying. You a surgeon. You a minister.
Yeah.
I walk off stage, and I know this is true of anybody that's gifted in their artistic space. You be tired. You
Boy, drenched, tired.
thirsty. You just want to go home and get into bed.
And that's just the first half of it. Because now you got the other half where you're meeting with the people that you've affected.
Yes. So can you go home after you've done that? Can you just go home and get into bed, or are you on 10, like running around the house, like?
No, I can shake it off, honey.
Really?
Oh man, my home's so peaceful. Look at me smiling, like I can't wait to get back to it. No, I leave it. I tell you what I do every week, and I do it multiple times a week if I can. But I go out to Belle Isle. I go by the waterfront or any waterfront I can do.
Oh, absolutely.
And I throw those cares onto the water, and I say my prayers over that water, and let it be a conduit to anything that was too heavy for me.
Wow.
Throw that thing off of me, and everything that was good and awesome.
Okay.
Thank God for it, and throw it right back out there to everybody who gave me that good feeling. And then I'm good for the next week. Like you have to decompress.
But see, that's, for me, is the decompress part. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home. And I could tell because my shoulders be like this. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit still. And then it's the part of me like, no, go get in the shower. So I
Mhm.
may sit in the shower, and as the water run off me, I can feel my body
There you go.
relaxing. But it has to be a process where you literally detox.
That's right.
You be
Because
like,
you done hugged everybody, shook hands,
so that energy exchange is so
everything. Everything.
kissed on the cheek, took pictures,
Yeah.
hey, woo, woo.
Then put their babies in your lap, everything. And you want to be right holding the baby. You just
Yes,
like, God,
yes,
let me
yes.
show 'em, okay,
Hey, let me introduce you to my husband. Let me introduce you to my wife. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, hey. And you don't ever want to be off-putting to that.
Yeah, you got to try not to be. And then you got somebody that's interested in doing what you do, say want a few pointers. And
All of that.
everything.
All of that. All of that. Or somebody that then bought some poems or some jokes or whatever, and they want you to read them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. So I'm interested in it. And you do.
Yeah.
You leave what's the song? Every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you.
Mhm.
So you do leave a piece of you on stage, and you take another. So you drop off something and you pick up something.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
High school. What high school did you go to?
Oh, Murray Wright.
Murray Wright. Wait, from Cooper Street to Murray Wright? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that was a
one
trek.
bus.
That's the crosstown.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
long trek. I had a classmate. She used to come all the way from Chalmers, all the way over there to
Murray Wright, really?
Yeah.
How did you
Yeah.
feel? Wait a minute, because what was near you? Kettering was near
Yep,
you.
Kettering was our
Why you ain't go to the BK?
Man, my mom came out of Murray Wright. And I
Okay.
had my middle sister still there. She was in her senior year, and I was going into 9th grade. But baby, it had changed from what my mom knew. You know, it was like a
thing.
stellar school, and they had
Yeah.
some great educators in there.
Yes.
My teachers were great, but it got a little rough. We had metal detectors, and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I remember starting 9th grade, and I was like, oh, they getting the party started in here. Like, it was a gang. Somebody had stolen somebody's little brother's jacket. And Big Brother and his gang came and just that's first day.
Well, but you gotta. So Murray Wright was right there, so you had the Jeffries Projects.
Mm-hmm.
You had cats that lived in the Jeffries Projects that went to Murray Wright. Then you had cats from the Brewster Projects that went to Murray Wright, because the cats in the Brewster Projects was the closest high school to them was probably. It was a combination though. It was Southeastern
Uh-huh.
near the Brewsters, because you could catch the Mac bus to Southeastern.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Murray Wright.
Yeah.
So you got two different whole things going on.
It was real.
Then you got the Jeffries Projects going on right there. And then Martin Luther King with the Brewsters
Okay,
too.
let me tell you something. By the time I had got in there, 97, 98.
Uh-huh.
By the time I got in there, baby, it was called Murder Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Murder Right. And we had gang squad and everything.
I listen, I was in my second year of radio in 98. And I remember because they had a situation with young people being snatched up. And they weren't safe to walk to school because of all the abandoned houses with the tall grass. So some of the students, I remember it like it was yesterday, some of the students from Murray Wright and that area called, and they said, Mason, we're going to walk out. And Mason was like, wait a minute, hold on. And they explained what they was going to do and all of that
That's
stuff,
right.
right?
I was in the walkout.
You was in the walkout? So here the crazy part. I don't know how. Yes, I do. God, I'm not going to even lie and say I don't know how. We got off the air, and it was like, okay, so Mason and Coco, y'all coming over here? And it was a bunch of kids, and they kept calling till they got through on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, we there. So got with the promotions team, grabbed a couple of station vehicles, and went over to Murray Wright. It was everything going on. It was news cameras out there. Everything was going on, and got out. And I'm looking at it. Got out, and they were walking from Murray Wright to the Student Center building up on Woodward and Warren. So I walked a little bit, I rode a little bit, I walked a little bit, and I remember it was some young ladies out there, and the guys picked the young ladies up and put them on their back. I remember that vividly. So we get to the Student Center building. I don't know who was the administrator for DPS then. We get to the Student Center building, and they took some of the students in to have a press conference with them.
Mm-hmm.
And security and the police was outside, and they looking at me crazy, and I'm looking at them. They was like, Coco, I said, I'm here for the kids. I said, they got to go to school. They got to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel safe coming to your job, then they got to feel safe going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't feel safe. It's abandoned houses. It's dogs. It's grass. I remember. So what's crazy, Deidre, I remember all of that.
Yeah.
And they told us that they was going to arrest us for loitering if we didn't keep moving.
Yep.
They said if we stopped walking, it was loitering.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all serious? And it's always one of them uber cocky officers. Yeah, you heard what we said. If you just stand still, you loitering, but you got to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids was like, come on, Miss Coco. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a long-ass block. So we got to walk from Woodward all the way down, what's the street? Cass?
Mm-hmm.
We had to walk Woodward to Cass and keep walking and keep walking. And then some of the students went across the street, and it was just crazy, but so necessary at that time because y'all didn't feel safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, it was funny that the security and police forces that would come into the school for gang squad stuff would have us move it along like that in regards to this is considered loitering and things of that nature. What the kids were essentially saying, what we were saying, I had got on the cross town by the time y'all got further up, honey.
Okay, you had
I was on my way home, honey. I was like,
that.
that'll do.
You got on the.
That'll do. But I'll tell you this. The kids were essentially saying, if it's important enough for you to run into the school buildings and make sure that we're not fighting in the hallways, it has to be important enough for you to know that when we're walking to school, we desire that same force.
Yeah.
If not more so, because now we have to consider sexual assault,
Absolutely.
abduction, anything. So children have a way of making you shift the focus and reconsider
Absolutely.
where the priority should be.
And
they have a way of doing that.
And the grown folks wanted them to be, well, y'all just can't walk out of school like that. And they was fussing at me. Coco, you had them out. And I'm just looking at them because my level of ignorance was about at 9 at that point. Coco, you can't have them kids. I said, I'm going to say this again. Y'all feel safe walking out y'all house to get to y'all job. They need to feel safe walking out their house to get to school. Because if they late or they absent, you writing them up.
And across from Murray right now, I think had it become Frederick Douglass for a spell? It wasn't a high school anymore.
It's Go Lightly now.
Okay.
But it wasn't Murray Wright is Frederick Douglass now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys have to understand who are listening to us right now, what you see today is not what it looked like in the late 90s.
Absolutely.
Please believe it.
No, the color change and everything. Y'all, listen. First of all,
that neighborhood was something to deal with.
Warren was one way. Remember,
it was one way.
It went from east to west. Now it goes from east to west and west to east. It was one way. It was a lot of activity going on, a lot of stuff going on. It's definitely not what it is now. It's the Boys and Girls Club that's over there. They put bike lanes in, so automatically that's when they put the bike lanes in, because I rode a bike forever and didn't have no damn bike lanes. But it's definitely been a color shift, and then it was a lot of stuff going on. So at 15, 16, 17 years old in high school, no, y'all not gonna organize a walkout like adults would.
Yeah.
But I had to be there because y'all had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And at that time, my daughter was 13. So I'm like, no. And they was serious. And the school board was like, listen, we need everybody to calm down. And them kids was pushing the doors open like, calming down. We don't feel safe. And he was like, well, calm down. And they looking at me telling me, can you get them to calm down? I said, I'm looking at them. And I'm sure had I said, okay, y'all listen, we got to calm down because they need to hear us. And they did eventually quiet down. But you can't tell somebody that's passionate about what's going on just to calm down. Because you're the adult that they're angry with. I'm an ally, so I'm good. You the adult the administrators and all that, they mad with y'all because y'all not doing nothing.
Yeah, and in a lot of instances too, sometimes school was safer than home
Yeah,
for a lot of the kids. So if you
still
leave,
is.
yeah, so you leave a home that's not the safest in the hopes that you can get the security you need at school and don't have it. And then the buses used to pass us up because they didn't want to pick up the high schoolers.
Oh
They're too
no,
rambunctious.
they didn't. They
So you're
didn't.
out there to damn near 7 o'clock at night because the buses keep going by.
Yeah. And it was certain bus drivers that y'all
Mhm.
respected and y'all dealt with, and you got on their bus and it was cool.
It was cool. So
But
you have to think about those things when you think about safety. Like, it's autumn, the days are getting shorter, nights are getting longer, and you're out there. You're trying to be safe. You're a school kid. You got your backpack on. You got a nice coat that your mom, dad got you, nice shoes, some of us. And you have some people that mean you no good. Waiting because they know those buses are going to pass you up.
Yeah.
They know mom and dad are at work. They can't come pick you up. So it's easy pickings.
Yeah.
So I understood the frustration because I was that age. I was there.
Yeah. And you had to get home.
Yeah.
Your other option was to walk down from Murray Wright all the way to Woodward and then catch the Woodward bus downtown. But like you said, you ain't getting home at 6 o'clock.
Right. Or try to catch the Grand River and go down to the terminal.
Yes.
And then try to get. It's like going in a full circle just to get home.
And I don't think people understand that. And now the issue with the world being closed down is children don't have a visible ally. When the world was open up, the kids would go to school, and you had that teacher that was perceptive enough to be like, something ain't. It's something ain't. It's something going on, and could actually have a conversation with them. Now that we living in this virtual world, and my friends that are teachers saying it's not just the kids missing out on part of the education, it's them missing out on the socialization.
Yeah.
And the ones that they used to could assess and know they needed help or they knew they had something going on. Or one of my girlfriends said, because she keeps like bags and baskets and stuff in her closet with personal items and sanitary napkins and diaper wipes and stuff in there. And she said she was more in tune to the young ladies in her class, they cycle, than her own.
That's right.
So they don't have that anymore. I think I'm just city government, and I'm in Detroit. I got my little Detroit State of Mind t-shirt on, but I think city government in this city in Detroit they need to take it and turn it over and shake it real hard, like a salt shaker. And everybody that fall out probably need to fall out. And it needs a new energy, a new pulse, a new incentive, a new reason. I don't know. You deal with a lot of young people.
It just tied into everything that we talked about. New energy, purpose.
Yes.
Give me a reason.
Yeah.
If we want the kids to act like they got some sense, first, approach them as though they do, because they do. They got a lot of it. Secondly, give them a reason.
And quit being
Give
mad
them
with them.
a reason.
Yeah.
To come and interact and participate and clean up. And because they're revolutionary. I don't care how wild you see it. They're revolutionary, which means I got the energy to take action. I'm willing to take action. It might not look like you want it to look, but I'm out here at least.
Yeah.
If that's the most they can do, the least we can do is meet them there and show them some instructions, give them some direction. That's it. That's all we wanted, which goes back to I was a part of the 4-H Community Center.
Okay. What was that?
McClellan.
Yeah, it's still there.
And you bet you.
Yeah.
Mr. Mills gave my first summer job, 14 years old. We were able to see Paint the Town when they come fix up the neighborhoods. I was in the Detroit Free Press, me and my homeboy Dre. We sweeping the street in front of the 4-H Community Center. That was a big deal to us. That was my first time in the paper. That meant more to me than what's happening now, what's popping now. But that we took pride. We did a garden in our greens. Our greens that we grew. Let me tell you how bad we were. So we use grass clippings and things of that nature. You know, the dead fish. We didn't have
Right.
the.
For the compost.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So we had. Oh my goodness, we toiled. Oh my goodness, all spring, beginning of summer, our crops started coming in. Our stuff was so good, honey. Everybody, grandma and mama was in
Really?
our field picking, and we let everybody glean.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we let me tell you too, this is what kids would do. We had all this great produce that we had grown, and we would sell it like how they had lemonade stands. We had vegetable stands. We sell it to little or nothing, just enough for us to walk up to the new Burger King and get a Whopper. I said, "Oh,
On Gratiot in 94.
on Gratiot
Yes.
in 94.
You said the new Burger King.
The new Burger King, man. We almost killed ourselves on Whoppers that summer, and had fresh greens back here we ain't even mess with. But I say all that to say, if you give the children away and you invest in them and you show them how to grow, their harvest and your harvest will be beautiful.
Mhm.
If you waste their youth and their energy and know-how by telling them all the things they ought to be doing that you aren't showing them to do,
Yeah.
well, we wasted time, we wasted resources, we wasted energy, we wasted youth, we wasted revolution, we wasted all those things. And until we get back to giving the 4-H center to the kids that's running amok, until we get back to all those things, I don't want to hear nobody complaining. So when I go out to the streets, in essence, I'm saying, I'm y'all. I'm going to be y'all till I die.
Mhm.
But I'm also the best me I can be because somebody took time out to be on their Detroit everything
And pour
it into me.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to do. When I highlight these people in the city, all I'm saying is, look, the harvest is good here. The toiling has been done.
Yeah.
The seeds have been sown. Look at this beautiful harvest. But if you just traipsing through and you don't see our greens that we grew, I can't force you.
And children will draw your attention to things that they feel may be an accomplishment. And it's so many battles that our young people have to deal with. Um, I was on social media and somebody was saying it's 90 degrees out here and these young people walking around with hoods on. The reason the young people walk around covered up with hoods and stuff on is because their level of confidence and how they see themselves is not where you think it should be. It ain't like, oh, they this and they that. No, they don't have the confidence and the self-esteem that you think that they should have. So when you see a young man and they got a hoodie on and they all look the same, they all got locks in their head and they all got this and stuff on, they not trying to gang bang and do that. They just trying to function and go unseen. Because if my peers don't see me, then they not gonna mess with me. If the adults don't see me, they ain't got nothing to say. And I'm just gonna have tunnel vision and keep moving because I don't want to deal with none of this. So yeah, they got a hoodie on. Yeah, they got on all black. It's the most nondescript thing that they could wear. Even the young ladies, all the young ladies look the same, and it's not like they try. I don't think a lot of them are trying to be somebody else. I think it's easier to look like somebody else and not be identified.
It's the same. Listen, when they have your children wear uniforms to school, they want something that's, they don't want you to be so distinctive that it causes an uproar. The children have gone ahead and assimilated into that ideology. I'm going to adopt this uniform because it doesn't give me anything distinctive that's going to cause you to have an uproar. My hair color won't be as vibrant as you think it is. I'm going to put this hood on if it is. My pants won't be as tight or sagging because that causes an uproar. I'm going to just stay focused, like you said, stay hidden, invisible man, woman, just moving through the world.
And just navigate through the world. I may put some different gym shoes on, but I don't know because I don't have any other way to stand out. So I'm going to just fit in. I'm gonna fit right in. It's going to be my space and I'm going to fit in.
Right. And what does that do? It kills that artist, that revolutionary, that teacher. It kills all of that. All the things we saying that they need to be.
It kills a lot of the dreams. It kills the dreams. I saw some young men at the gas station up on Warren and 75. Yeah. and they had their shirts and stuff off, and they went to the gas station and bought some juice or whatever. And they was just laughing and joking among themselves, and I was hanging out with one of my girlfriends. I said, "You know what's funny?" And they walked out, and the way they walked out, some of the people kind of like dipped out the way. I said, "You know what's interesting? You could probably talk to any one of them young men for about 5 minutes and say, 'Can I have a hug?'
Mm-hmm.
And he would hug you, and you could feel the whole weight of his body drop into your arms because nobody probably has hugged him in a long time.
That's
One of them
right.
grandma hugs
That's right.
where they say, 'You smell pretty.' I'll be like,
That's
'Thank you.'"
right.
So yes, there are things that go on in the world that frighten us and make us uncomfortable and all of that stuff. But then there's also things that go on in the world that are beautiful and amazing and welcoming, and we have to engage in. And let me say this real quick. I'm gonna say this, and Coco saying it, not Deidre. I'm tired of these old ass mean women. I'm
Me too.
okay.
I'm saying that.
I'm I'm tired of these women that are 45 and up, and they mean and they face all toe up, and they look like they want to cuss you out, and you can't say nothing to them, and they always got something to say, and they so used to being mean and nasty. And I don't care what kind of car you drive. Yeah, ma'am, I see it. I see your purse. I see your car, but you're not a nice person. You're just a mean person, and you so used to functioning in your circle of peers that assimilate with you, you don't know how to talk to people. You talk down to everybody. If somebody is not, and I see it, if you're not a member of a certain organization or a certain organization or a certain organization,
Mm.
they talk to you real, real crazy. And I'm really tired of these mean ass, angry ass, black, uh, elitist, pseudo aristocrat women with this terrible attitude. They talk to everybody so messed up and say some of the craziest stuff, and they think it's okay. And I know you've heard this. How many times have you had one of those super sisters tell you, "I couldn't wear my hair like that"?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you, one thing that I've learned, especially just being an artist and being a part of so many different communities simultaneously. I don't get into that. You can't come to our treehouse. Who's
Mm,
doing the work?
mm,
Who's bearing the fruit? Come on, come to my table.
yeah,
You're a good use over here.
yeah.
I won't shun you away. All of that hierarchy, and there's a reason for that, especially amongst Black women. There's a reason for that that needs to be dismantled. One thing is, when we're at war and at odds with each other, is it organizational? Is it structural? Is it systemic, or is it personal?
Mm,
And 9 times out of 10,
it's personal.
it's personal.
Yeah.
Personality politics, take it on out of the work. Take it on out of the sisterhood.
Mm,
Because if it is in there is no sisterhood.
no.
And I have a program, I have to plug my program, Woman to Woman,
Okay.
over at LGBT Detroit. I'm the new program coordinator and editor of that page. If you join Woman to Woman, I got some great things coming for women that are lesbian or bi-attractional, Black, brown, or their allies.
Okay.
You don't have to identify with what I identify with, but if you want work done and you want to align yourself up with something worthwhile, get involved in something that I'm doing. It don't even have to be that.
Right.
But if it's anything that you see your sister doing and it's good work, align with her.
Yeah.
Don't talk down about it because you haven't measured up, or so you think. Bring your qualities to it is moving until you get moving. And then you'll find that once you do that, I got so many alarms. You'll find that once you do that, there's nothing to argue and bicker about.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hate on.
Yeah.
And the elders the elder women, please hear me when I say, because I'm approaching it. I'll be 40 in a couple of years,
Oh, you
38.
still a grasshopper.
I wish. But I have youth that I've mentored and worked for and served that can still call on me to this day. And there's a reason for that, because there's no ageism in my approach.
Yes. And
I know the
sow
baby
good
can
seeds.
teach me
Yeah.
something that I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm out of touch with certain technologies now that I've gotten older.
Oh, I don't feel bad. Okay, I don't feel bad because technology, computers, and baby. Okay.
Oh my goodness! And then it's disheartening when you have elders that speak down on you. I'm used to older women that I've sat with on the porch that have given me gems.
Yeah.
They have welcomed me. They've asked my mom, "Where's that Deidre at?
Ha.
Tell her come down here and see me when she get in or when she wake up."
Yeah.
And they just wanted a little bit of attention, wanted
That's
to share a
all.
little something.
That's all.
And I go down there and get some of the most enriching stories that you can't buy this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. No.
But it's because they weren't nasty. It's because their hearts weren't hardened toward whatever they saw in me. Whatever they saw in me was no threat. It was a hope.
Wow.
They said, I see that in her. Tell her, come down here, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, I see that in her. Let's see how we can douse that out real quick.
Yeah.
What kind of sense did that make?
But I think those people that operate from that place don't even know they're operating from that place. As one of my girls said, they're angry ass biddies, but they are.
Mm-hmm.
I went to get some food, stopped by to grab some food, and while I was at the restaurant, I said, well, let me have a drink. So I'm sitting there, and this sister came in. She might be about 10 years older than me, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She came in and started telling me that she had an event going on. It was a Wednesday. What are you doing Saturday? I said, I don't know. I said, I really don't think I'm doing nothing. This might be one of my off Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got this event going on, and it would be so nice if you stopped by. I said, how long have you had my number?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, girl, when did we meet? You know when we met.
Mm-hmm.
I've known this woman at least 20 years. You've had my number. If you really wanted me to be a part of this event that you were doing, then you would have reached out to me. She said, it'd be so nice to tell everybody COCO coming. See, now you're trying to use me as a pawn to get points in your little group you in.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I probably won't make it. She was like, how you know? I said, I probably won't. I'll probably be sitting up in my bed watching Twilight Zone reruns.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the young ladies that was working at the restaurant was like, we didn't put your food in because you started sitting down having a drink. I said, okay, I'm going to let you know when I'm ready. She said, you look so different with your hair dark. I said, yeah, I just let it grow out, went back to my natural color. Sister Suki says, I like that better because I don't like to see black women with blonde hair. Baby, listen. I said, well, I love my blonde hair. I said, that's one of my trademarks. I love my blonde hair. I said, the only reason that I don't have it now is because I'm just giving my head and my hair and all that stuff a rest. And she went on to explain why she had an issue with black women with blonde hair. I don't know. It just seems like they trying to. I said, listen, I ain't trying to assimilate with nobody. I say I like my blonde hair. Most black women that wear their hair blonde like it. They like colors in their hair. I said we are people of color and loud colors, and we bright and we vivid and we loud and all of that. And I think she knew by the tone and the inflection in my voice that I didn't want to hear no more of this sanctimonious whoop whoop whoop. She was like, well, yes, are you on Facebook? I said, I am. Well, I'm on Facebook too, but I go by so and so and so and so because you know, with my profession, I understand all that, and I knew where she was on Facebook. I wasn't looking for her. She's like, well, my office is right across the street. I'm not coming to your office. In essence, I want to say I don't fool with you. And when I've had to deal with you in the past, it was in the capacity of your agency was providing services for a group of people that I was providing services and working with. But this whole conversation come to your event that you having on Saturday night and told you I ain't coming because it's the last minute. You done said you like me better with my hair dark because you got an issue with black women that dye their hair blonde. She was like, I remember when I was younger. And you always get to the crux of it. I remember I was younger and I wanted to wear blonde hair. And I just thought my skin was too dark. I said, that
There it is.
that
That's a
was the
personal problem.
whole thing. So now because you thought your skin was too dark back in the 50s, because you ain't but about 10 years older than me, you got an issue with all black women dark as you or darker than you that wear their hair blonde. I'm not finna let you deposit that in my spirit. I'm not. She was like, what you drinking? I said, you don't drink. I might. You ain't gonna drink this. And she asked the bartender what she got. She was like, she got a so-and-so and so-and-so. She said, ooh, that sounds strong. I'm on my lunch break. I said, I am too. And I just kept right on doing what I'm doing. I say that to say, as women, we can't take ourselves that serious. We have to be more loving and more malleable and more understanding. And we can't look at I can't look at you and you 38. You 2 years older than my daughter. I can't look at you as you're not my enemy.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're doing. I may not come and hang out with you, but I want to know what you're doing to see if I could be a part of what you're doing or help and serve in any way.
Exactly.
Because you the next generation. So if you're not empowered, then who am I going to have to sit on my porch and have conversations with me? Who gonna talk to me? Who am I gonna get these bell peppers and cucumbers to that I done gathered in my yard? Who am I gonna have do that? Who am I gonna call to be like, you know how to load stuff on NetSpin? They sent me this NetSpin card. Who am I gonna have if I've hated on everybody around me that can help me?
Yes.
Don't nobody want to necessarily deal with that.
Yeah.
And like you said about the young people, I am terrible. I don't want to say that. I am not as savvy with computers as I should be. And my daughter be like, Ma, just do this, this, and this. And she said, why are you touching it like that? I don't know why I be touching it like it's going to break. You know how we touch it. I'm 58.
I be
so
getting
you
down
know,
with that finger pick.
I'm 20 years older
And
than
I had
you.
typing class, which is the sorry part
It's
about
different.
it. I had computers and typing.
That computer seem like it's going to break. My daughter be like, Ma, it is not going to break. I be like, you sure? I be like this. I be touching it like this. She be like, you need to print something? I said, yeah. She said, okay, this is what you do. Go on your phone, and you see the little 3 dots? I said, yeah. She said, well, hit that, and then print gonna show up. I said, ooh. She said, now hit the thing, and then I hit the print. I said, oh, I'm so excited. Listen, baby, I get so excited when I can print something. Ooh, and they be like, shh, shh. I said, why is making that noise? She said, it may need some more print, may need some more paper. How many pages is it? I said, it's 24 pages. Mom, I don't think you got enough paper in there. I said, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? She said, go put some more paper in it. So I started put the paper in there and finish printing. But we need y'all.
Yeah.
I need you.
Yeah.
I need you. I need the women in the generation behind you. I need y'all.
And the confidence in hearing that the same way that our elders needed us to do the store run.
Absolutely.
And we needed that change, whether we said it or not.
And they knew it.
And they knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When we have that intergenerational connection of understanding that we are indeed connected, I'm telling you, we become stronger in our sisterhood, in our communities, in all of that. And if you do have a mean-spirited way of going about interacting with your sister friends,
I don't want to be around you.
Change it up right now.
Yeah.
Change it up right now. And I'm not talking about diluting your strengths. I'm talking about knowing who to be strong with and recognizing what real strength is. And it is not in mean-spirited conversation, slander, gossip, whatever you want to do. And I'm telling you right now, that's the quickest way to turn me off.
Yeah.
I won't be involved. I spend a lot of time by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
It's
I can interact with any and everybody. I love everybody. But I put it this way, Coco. I was telling a friend of mine, I know who to have in the outer courts, the inner courts, and in the throne room.
Mm-hmm.
In the outer courts, you will never know that you're not in my throne room because I got it so beautiful out there. And you got accoutrements,
Mm-hmm.
you got shrubbery, you got a beautiful lawn, shade trees, lemonade.
Okay.
The inner courts got a little something better, might get a little entertainment.
Right.
You got the same accoutrements,
Okay.
shrubbery, all those
Okay.
things.
Okay.
But here in the throne rooms, where my God is, my faith is, and my love is, my heart is, my vulnerabilities are. If you show me that you can't be trusted with that, you're not allowed into there.
Yeah.
And I don't love you any less, but I know that you don't have the capacity.
You don't warrant that.
Yes.
Yes. You
don't have the capacity to be in there.
And the thing that I think a lot of women that are from your generation has learned, you all have learned to separate it early.
Mm-hmm.
My generation got in deep and then tried to separate it, and we got muck and mire and stuff on us trying to separate it. Your generation be like, no, auntie, I see it from here. I ain't finna deal with it. So we took it to heart. Y'all took it to head and processed it and split it all up. So we got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I need you to leave as we leave the podcast, leaving with a good Deidre D.S.Sense Smith.
Yeah.
One of them good think about all day poems. Be like, that sister said that. She said, you know, old people, she did that. Because we can't talk about that movie. Like, honey, she did that. She put her foot in them collards. And I don't even like collars. Baby, she put her foot in them collards.
I got you. Here we go. It's one of my favorite pieces. I do it quite often. More. It was good morning heartache. Now it's good morning sunshine. I feel okay. I thought I lost me at one time. A new day has been given by the Elohim, changing my perspective in the way I'm viewing everything. I was crippled with emotional arthritis. I was sleeping on your words, so I guess I had the itis, arthritis. Just that I was spiritually dormant. This world kicked my ass in to use me as a doormat. I wasn't for that. I tried that old format. Get humble, never mumble, and boldly approach the throne. Be ready for a rumble. If you go at it alone, I was gone. But you were here all along and I was wrong. For not seeking your counsel, going round for round like I was Hector Camacho. Got knocked to the ground to blow cold as gazpacho soup. Now I'm doing everything he called me to. I woke up this morning, stretching and yawning. And I'm still wanting more of you. Woke up this morning, stretching and yawning. And I'm still wanting more of you. It feels good to be back in a space where your light radiates and my mind meditates on your grace and your peace and your glory and your mercy. My heart skips a beat because I know you're so worthy of my praise. I've been wrapped up in this feeling, y'all, for days. Happy feelings, Frankie Beverly and Maze. I understand that your ways are not my ways, but that's okay. I flip a page in the book of life and start a new chapter. I'm so Anita Baker, get me caught up in your rapture. Put me under the water, get me clean and get me dapper. Yeah, I'm dying in Adam, so I'm gonna do what I have to do to get better in my walks with you and get better in my talks with you. And I'ma speak the way you taught me to. I woke up this morning, stretching and yawning, and I'm still wanting more of you. We woke up this morning, stretching and yawning, and I'm still wanting more of you. Y'all make sure to get more out of today than you did yesterday. And be on your Detroit everything. You can find me, Deidre D.S.Sense Smith on Facebook, D.S.Sense on Instagram and Twitter, DSSENSC. The latest project is Cooper Street Chrysalis on all streaming platforms. It's a banger. And just be good to each other, y'all.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Deidre D.S.Sense Smith, you listen to Coco's Corner. Listen, go back and watch it and pull out the parts you like and the parts you love. Share it with somebody. It's been an amazing, amazing day. It's going to be hot today. Drink y'all some water because y'all party like rock stars this weekend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we out.